What's up everyone and welcome to part 2 of my overview on Tinker's Construct. So last episode we looked at pretty much all the basics on how to get started with Tinkers, like all the tables that you need, the smeltery, how to make some of the, pretty much all of them. And in this part I'm going to show you guys what I didn't show you in the last one, including the, all the tools, all the weapons, and pretty much just everything that's included in Tinkers. This is just Tinkers, so none of the add-ons. So anyways, starting with Generation, Tinkers adds tin, copper, and aluminum. Typically you'll only see the aluminum because other mods will add tin and copper. But then it has two nether metals that you can only find in the nether. So there's cobalt and ardite. I won't say only in the nether because, but you find these in the nether and they're quite good, especially combined together, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Cobalt is really fast for like mining speed, and ardite gives you stone bound, so it's pretty durable. Then also Tinker's Construct adds gravel ores, so these gravel ores can spawn pretty much anywhere on the surface. You'll find them, and you harvest them with a shovel instead, obviously still using the same mining level and all that. Alright, next for Generation there are oreberry bushes. Oreberry bushes usually spawn in caves, and what they'll do is they'll grow to this size and they'll start to spawn little berries. So search berries. These berries pretty much act as nuggets. You can melt them down in the smeltery, turn them into ingots, whatever you want to do. You can smelt them into, I believe, just straight nuggets. And there's also essence berry bushes, which also work the same way and spawn berries, but whenever you consume them, can't tell because I'm in creative, but you will gain XP. See? Gain some XP. Nice. The next thing, kind of just a random block here, is the SDX, which is just, I'll just leave it here. SDX is just TNT and slime ball, or substitute for it, which will create an SDX, which is pretty much just TNT, a stronger TNT. Next, there's the bounce pad. So bounce pads are pretty cool, made as so, slime channel, just some slime, a little bit of redstone, and whenever you step on them, you'll see they'll shoot you. And whenever you place them down, you'll see that there's that little blue thing. So if I face that way, it'll go that way. Then whenever I stand on it, so you can direct these a little bit. Next, there is the addition of the crafting station, which I talked about last one, but didn't go in depth. So what it can do is whenever you place an item in, say you're crafting, you realize you forget something, you close out, it stays in the table. So your items won't drop on the floor, you don't have to redo the recipe. So pretty cool. Also what Tinkers does is it allows slab versions of all those tables over there, including a furnace and the crafting station. So that's pretty convenient. Another little addition are punji sticks. Punji sticks are a nuisance. So you make them with just sugar cane, and whenever you stand on them, you'll take damage, you'll get some slowness, and they're kind of a pain. They're kind of a pain to remove too. They take a while, but water does remove them pretty fast. Next, there is the drying rack. Drying racks are pretty cool. You can take any uncooked food, including rotten flesh, hang it up, and eventually it'll turn into monster jerky or, whatever kind of jerky, depending on what you hang up. Next, a block that it's added is clear glass, which is when you melt sand down the smelter and you pour it into the casting basin, it'll come out as clear glass, which is nice, has connected textures, and is overall just clear. So it doesn't have the particles like normal glass does. Next, there's the oak barricade, which is pretty easy to make. Just do that. Just 2 pieces of wood. And what you do is whenever you place these down, it actually puts one down, then you can keep placing them, and it makes a barricade. So it just takes longer to destroy. Obviously I'm in creative, but kind of convenient, and they look pretty cool. Not gonna lie, they look really cool. Alright, so next we have the whole traveler's gear. So traveler's gear is quite interesting. So if I take all this out, put all of it on. Get rid of that. Oh, also one thing I forgot to mention, there's torches that are added as well that use stone tool rods, which can be made using just cobblestone and stone. So you don't have to waste your wood if you're stuck in the cave and you find some coal, you can make torches. So that's that. So if I grab all this, there's also the knapsack, which I will talk about as well. And Tinkers adds this second tab here, and in here is a lot of things you can place. One of them being the traveler's glove. See, it renders some gloves on me. Knapsack, I don't believe renders on you, but you'll see what it does here in a second. Traveler's Belt goes there as well, and you'll see what it does. Actually, I'll show you right now. Yeah, depending on what your keys are, you will control when you press it, and it'll swap your hotbar. So it stores it on the belt, so you can potentially just swap between 2 different bars. Pretty cool, pretty convenient. And the rest of this is all armor, and it looks pretty cool. Get some wings, some goggles. Looks pretty fancy, and they have a bunch of cool things you can do. So you can zoom with Z. That's default, obviously. Stuck zoomed. I don't know why it's not letting me unzoom. Okay then. The vest gives you ability to swift swim. The wings lets you jump high. And the boots give you high step. I have the sash on, but anyways, it would let you do this. So, Traveler's Gear, pretty cool. It doesn't do a ton of protection, but does a little bit. So, it's not a bad set for all the buffs that it gives. Next, staying in this part of the tabs right now, is there's hearts. So miniature red hearts can be dropped by any mob at a low chance. Yellow hearts can be dropped by boss monsters, like almost guaranteed. And what you can do is you can craft with them to create red heart canisters, which use empty canister, which is just 4 aluminum, or yeah, this is the usual recipe. Then you can also use a jeweled apple, which is apple and diamonds, which give you like a ton of absorption, some haste, and all that. And necrotic bone, which is dropped from wither skeletons. And you can make heart canisters, and pretty simply what they do is when you put them on, they'll give you an extra heart. So you see my heart, I just got an extra one. And you can have 10 red hearts, 10 yellow hearts. Yellow hearts are crafted using a red one, the yellow heart and notch apple. That'll give me another one. So you have 10 of those, 10 red, 10 yellow. There's also room for green, which right now are only creative mode only, so there's no crafting recipe. But, if you want to add something for it, you can. Next, the knapsack. So you saw that a new tab got added here. It's pretty much just another inventory. So if you want to store some stuff in here, you can. You just toss the stuff away, and it will stay in there. Only bad thing is if you die and you have a grave from open blocks, that stuff I believe does go everywhere. So keep that in mind. All right. So next, let's start checking out. Oh, actually, let's check out the landmine. I haven't done that yet. Sounds like fun. I'm gonna go ahead and create it for this. So there's a few different landmines. All they do is react differently to certain things. So if I place one down, I believe this should set it off. Go. Maybe not. Let's get a lever. And kaboom. Maybe I have the wrong one. Make me look like a fool, landmine. Reacts with everything. Oh, this is the one I want. Alright, now you go. Okay, it doesn't want to work. I don't know why it doesn't want to work. Oh, that's right, that's right. I forgot to put the DNT in it. I'm smart. And boom. Does a pretty significant explosion. Yeah. That's why I was in creative. Alright. Let's go back to daytime real fast. Okay, so that was the landmines. Pretty cool. Toss some of this stuff back in. Don't need it. Alright, so now let's start checking out some of the tools and weapons added by Tinkers. So there's a lot of them, and you're going to need the tool forge to make quite a few of them. You can make some of them in the tool station, obviously. But let's just go through them. So let's just get a handful of them real fast. So the long sword, it's a sword, but also gives you the ability to lunge. Whee. So all you gotta do is hold right click, let go, you'll fire. If you jump right before you do it, you'll go a little bit further. So pretty cool. Rapier, it attacks really fast. If you right click, you'll do a little back step. And it's also very armor penetrating. So that's nice. Cutlass is an interesting one. If you block, when you get hit with it, you'll gain a speed boost. And also is just a really good sword. The only way to make it, however, is you need a full guard pattern for the pattern. So like, all these swords are made the same way. They just use a different handguard. You can see this being the same way, and you can only find this in a village where it's a Tinker's building. I wish I had one to show you, but I do not, unfortunately. and you can find those in the pattern chest in there. Also, on the note of world gen, I almost forgot. Going back to the slime, since there's so much slime stuff, there has to be an easier way to get slime. So if we travel over here real fast, you'll see a slime island. These spawn high up in the sky, and they will contain, some slime, some purple slime, occasionally some blue slime, some slimy water, some slime dirt, and also these slime trees. Are pretty cool. So the trunk is made out of green slime that you can convert straight into green slime balls. The leaves are useful for making arrows, so grab those as well. Also, they can drop saplings, so you can keep planting them and making more and more. So, very nice to note that. Helps a lot for getting slime a lot earlier. All right, so those are those. Dagger, it's another melee weapon, but also you can throw it. So you can go pick it up. Let me go back into survival so you can see. Boom. Throw it. You pick it up. Should be able to pick it up. There it is. Nice. So toss. Yeah, so that's the dagger. Frying pan has an inherent knockback, but also what you can do is you can shift right click, put it down, and it doubles as a furnace. So pretty cool. Battle sign, it's kind of a joke weapon. You can put down the sign. Yeah. Matlock is a multi-tool. It works sort of as a shovel, sort of an axe, and also as a hoe. So nice little tool for multi-tool usage. Lumber axe is, an axe. And what it can do is head over here real quickly. If we find a tree and we decide to cut it down, boom, it will destroy the entire tree. Nice. If it's just a bunch of wood, it will do a 3x3x3. So it works like the hammer and the excavator that you'll see soon. It does a wider area. Another one, we'll jump down to the battle axe. Battle axe is pretty cool. It's a weapon, does a lot of damage. If you hold right click, the longer you hold it, the more effect you'll get. But when you let go, you'll see that you get hunger for a little bit, speed 2, strength, and jump boost. So you get quite a few buffs, but also the hunger. And also what it does, whenever it mines, it can destroy multiple wood blocks, as you can see. Alright, so that's the battle axe. Clear some of these out. The cleaver. Cleaver is a really heavy weapon. It'll give you mining fatigue at all times when you hold it. It has an inherent ability to behead mobs. So at base it has, I believe, 20%. And you can upgrade that, obviously. It also has some of the highest base damage. As you can see, 14. These are all made out of manulin, so the strongest attacking material, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Alright, so next we have, do the excavator. Excavator, like the hammer, is a 3x3 for shovel stuff. Pretty simply. Then the scythe. Scythe is good at getting rid of grass and leaves. So we'll do a 3x3. It can also hit mobs in an AoE effect. So if I had a couple mobs around, it would hit all of them. See if I can get some cows. Okay, so if I hit, boom, you see it hits multiple mobs at once. There. All right, next we got some projectile weapons, which are pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we have the shuriken, which when you throw, you just click and you'll throw them. You can also run and go pick them up. They're pretty cool. They look really cool. Yeah. Next is throwing knives. If you hold, you pull back and you throw. You see that they'll go. Boom. Javelin. Javelin works as a melee, but it can also be pulled back and thrown. All you gotta do is hold right click. Next is the short bow. There's also a longbow, but they work the same way. Longbow just has more armor penetration. What you do is you make arrows right here. Going back to that slime leaf fletching is the thing. Once again, all these are made in here, so you just find the recipe. The process is always the same. And you just pull back and you let go. Boom. However, though, the catch with the bows is that you want to use more flexible material so that way it pulls back faster. As you can see, this takes a long time to pull back. If you use something like slime, slime is more flexible and it will pull back a lot quicker. So going back to the slime island, very helpful. Next is the crossbow. The crossbow, however, needs bolts. And I'm going to show you how to make bolts because it's not the most obvious way. There is a thing in here for making the bolt. You need a bolt core. There is no bolt core pattern. That's not a thing. What you need to do is you need to take a tool rod of whatever you like it to be. and you pour a material over it. So if you pour iron, is what I have, you pour that over top of the tool rod, you'll get yourself, after a second, a bolt core. Nice. So that is what you use in here in order to make yourself the bolt. Just get some fletching. So grab yourself some fletching and create the bolt. Alright, so then the crossbow, you press right click, it'll load the bolt. You'll see it's ready to go now. Obviously, the more flexible material, the faster the reload. And then you right click, and it lets go, and it starts to reload again. So, pretty cool weapon. See the cow's freaking out. Alright, next is another thing that you can make. It's not as much as a tool or a melee weapon of anything, as it's a utility thing. So it's a chisel. So a chisel is pretty cool for tinkers. So what you can do, so let's go back into tinkers. You can see that there's all these fancy blocks here. Like you can see bricks and lapis bricks, diamond bricks, and all these are made using the chisel. So you put, just some lapis in, some diamond in, diamond block, and you can cycle through all these different patterns. You can get a lot of cool looking blocks out of it. So bone, sandstone, obsidian. So lots of cool blocks that you can get using the chisel. It will take a little bit of damage as you use it, but that's okay. Alright, so I believe that covers it for pretty much all the tools. I'm going to talk about a little bit of optimizing some of them. There's a few ways to do it. Like if you were to take an obsidian head, so if we look at our book, if I can find where I put it. If we look at our book, if we want to say we're making a pickaxe, right? And we put obsidian as the head. Obsidian has a reinforced 3. Remember, reinforced is 10% chance to not take damage while mining. So it has 30% chance base, right? So then if you were to use paper gives you an additional modifier for the tool rod and the binding, or thaumium if you have Thaumcraft installed. It will also give you an extra modifier. And same with the bowstring for bows. There's enchanted fabric that will give you another modifier. So if you do that, you'll have enough modifiers after doing the 3 additional ones in order to upgrade it with, I'll show you real fast, I believe it's the obsidian plate. Right there. The obsidian plate, which will give it an extra level of reinforced. So you can eventually have reinforced 10, 100% chance to not take damage ever. So it's an unbreaking tool. Yeah, so that's pretty nice to know. Alright, so that is for unbreaking. Next, what you can do is optimize damage. Obviously, if we go back to the smelting book, it's talking about cobalt and ardite. If you combine them together, you'll get the manulin, which you saw me using. Manulin, cobalt, and ardite makes 1, so 1 of each will give you only 1 ingot, so keep that in mind. Also, you can make bronze. Bronze is alright. Alumite is nice because it's a quick metal that you can get that can mine the cobalt. So the cobalt mining level is cobalt, as you can see at the top. Same with ardite, so that's nice to have early on to be able to mine that stuff. So another thing I want to talk about is the stonebound and jagged. What you can do is, so going back to the trait, the stonebound and the jagged I talked about in the last one, it will increase your damage for jagged based on how low the durability is on your sword, and stonebound will increase the mining speed based on how low the durability is. So if you make a pickaxe, by say, and you have stonebound on it, let's actually get one. So if we make again ardite, oops, so I can type again ardite pickaxe, you'll see that it has a stonebound modifier 2.0. So let me mine something real fast. One reach. So if we mine, do a little bit of durability to it. Okay. Alright, now we should see that it has a little bonus. So stonebound bonus 0.16, max 10.8. So you can get up an additional 10.8 mining speed based on the damage that it takes. So that's pretty significant mining speed. And what you can do is if you have thermal expansion installed, as that stonebound bonus goes higher and higher, it's based on the durability, right? So if you add, if we look in our book again, oops. if you add yourself a capacitor from thermal expansion or leadstone energy cell, this will lock the durability where it's at and then give you flux to use as your durability instead. So you will maintain your stonebound bonus while being able to use the tool and not make it take damage, because you'll no longer be using the durability, you'll be using flux. So if you do that, you have your bonus and you don't have to worry about breaking the tool ever. So that's a nice little tip to have. All right. So I believe that mostly covers it. There's so many combinations that you could do with these tools, you know, with all the modifiers. Like with the cleaver, if you make the head out of pretty much anything and then do a bunch of additional modifiers, you can make it beheading 100% chance. So it can get pretty ridiculous. But I think that pretty much covers it for tankers. So all the processes, everything that spawns with it. Maybe missed a few things, we'll see. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this overview of Tinker's Construct, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.